Hello parents, how are you doing on today? I'm hoping you're having a great day. So today I'm going to go ahead and do the lesson 5 session 1 homework. It's a short homework on today because it's our first lesson, so they're just introducing everything. But today we were learning how to skip count by 2s, 5s, and 10s. That was a big thing, introducing skip counting today. So for homework on page 107, number 1, I did that with them in class. We went through the definition and my illustration and the 2 examples, the non and the example. So you don't have to worry about doing that one. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 2. Number 2 says, I'm going to write it first. Okay. What multiplication fact is shown by the model? So they gave us a model. That model is equal groups. So this is what the equal groups look like. First, we have 2 groups. And inside of those groups, we have 3 items. So these are our 3 items. Okay, so they want to know what multiplication fact we can use. So we did this on last week when we talked about how we can take equal groups and turn it into a multiplication fact or a multiplication equation. So when we do that, we do our blanks, blank time blank equals blank. So the first blank will always be your groups. And then the second blank is the size of each group. How much is in each group? And then the last one is your total or your product. The product is the answer to our multiplication equation. So when I look at this, well, I have 1 group, 2 groups. So there are 2 groups here, so that means my first number in my multiplication sentence, since it stands for my groups, it is going to be 2. Okay, now we're going to the second number, which is the size of each group. So when I look at this, I have 1, 2, 3 in this group, and I have 1, 2, 3 in this group. So that means each group has 3. So this will be 3. Each group has 3 dots. Okay, now the total is how many we have all together. So we're going to count how many dots we have all together. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be 6. The answer to that would be 6. So the multiplication fact you would write would be 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay. Let's go on to number 3, which is on page 108. And for number 3, it says, solve the problem, show your work. Julio makes 7 cookies. Each cookie has 5 chocolate chips. How many chocolate chips does he use? So what I like to tell my students is when we are doing story problems such as this, we call them story or word problems, to circle the important numbers. Those are the numbers, you circle them because those numbers are numbers you're going to use. So we circle them so that they can stand out. So I would circle the 7 cookies, and I would also circle 5 chocolate chips. Those numbers are important numbers, and we want them to stand out by circling them. Then I always tell them to underline the question. So you're going to underline how many chocolate chips did he use, because that's the question. We underline questions because it helps us to realize what we need to solve. So let's go ahead and start solving. So he makes 7 cookies, and each cookie has 5 chocolate chips. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 7 cookies, because 7 cookies, that's our groups. So I'm going to draw 7 cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's my 7 cookies. Okay? Now, Now, if you want, you can go in and you can label them. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just a double check to make sure you did all the groups. Now I'm gonna go in and put the 5 chocolate chips on each cookie because it said each cookie has 5 chocolate chips. So let's go ahead and put those 5 chocolate chips. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now each cookie has 5 chocolate chips. So now we can go ahead and find out, because the question that we underlined was how many chocolate chips did he use? So we want to know how many chocolate chips they used altogether, the total, which is also the product, which is the answer to our multiplication equation. So let's go ahead and do the multiplication equation. So I'm going to draw my blanks. Blank times blank equals blank. Remember, the first blank will always be your groups, just like we did before. The second blank is going to be your size. And the last blank is going to be your total. So this is always going to be like this. So I'm going to go ahead and write it again just so I get in practice and I can remember what blank means what. So if my first blank is the groups, well, I'm going to see how many groups. Now, you remember we went in and we labeled our groups at the bottom. So we had a total of 7 groups. So that means I'm going to put 7 on my first line. And I'm going to put it in a different color so that it'll stand out. I'll do red again. 7. Okay. Now we need to figure out the size of each group. How many chocolate chips are there on each cookie? So when I look at this cookie, there's 5. There's 5 on this cookie. So each cookie has 5. So the size of each cookie is going to be 5. Okay, so now we need to figure out what's the total, because the question asks us for the total amount of chocolate chips. How many chocolate chips do we have in all? So this is where the new strategy for this week come in, skip counting. So we can skip count to make our counting faster. If you don't want to skip count, you can always count each chip individually. So just count them one by one. But to practice our skip counting, we can skip count. Now because there are 5 in each cookie, we're going to skip count by 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my skip count on top. This is going to be 5, then 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay? So now, when I did my skip count, we had a total of 35 chocolate chips. So my total is 35. Now you can go in and count each one individually to do a double check. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So now I know for sure we had a total of 35. So now we can go ahead and answer the question. The question asks how many chocolate chips did he use? We would write a word sentence. We would say he used 35 chocolate chips in all. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and go to number 4. So number 4 says, check your answer. Show your work below. So we're going to go ahead and check our answer for number 4. I'm going to do number 4 up here in the corner so we don't have to change the whiteboard. So 4 is going to go here. So how can we check our work? You can do repeat addition sentences. You can skip count. You can do that. There are many different ways we can check our work. So I'm going to do both of those. So I'm going to repeat my skip count up here, being that I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups. I'm going to skip count by 5. So this will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, oh, let me go back, 25, 30, 35. So you say, well, Ms. Newman, how do you know where to stop? This is how we know where to stop. Think of our numbers as our groups. If I had 7 groups, I should have 7 numbers. This will be 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, 6 groups, 7 groups. So that's how we know where to stop. You can count your numbers and that'll tell you how many groups you have. So another way we can do is repeat addition. So this group had 5. I'm going to put 5 for that group. My second group had 5, so plus 5 for that one. My third group has 5, so plus 5 for that one. My fourth group has 5, so plus 5 for that one. Okay, my fifth group has 5, plus 5 for that one. My sixth group has 5, plus 5 for that one. And my seventh group has 5, so plus 5 for that one. Then we're going to add all of that together. So this is, I'm going to count my 5s just to make sure I have 7 5s. Remember, we always want to double check our work, because when we double check our work, then we can catch the small mistakes so that we don't make a big mistake from our small mistake. So I'm going to double check by counting to make sure I have 7 5s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that means I have all my 5s. So let's add this together. Okay, change my color. So we have 5 plus 5, that is 10. And then 10 plus this 5 is going to be 15. And 15 plus that 5 is going to be 20. And 20 plus that 5 is going to be 25. And 25 plus this 5 is 30. And 30 plus this 5 is going to give me a final answer of 35 that will go here. 35. So everything checked out. My skip count gave me 35, and my repeat addition sentence also gave me 35. So that means everything is correct. And that was the last problem for homework. So I hope everybody understands what we did today in class. We really wanted to focus on skip counting today, and we're mainly focusing on skip counting by our 5s and our 10s. Also, parents, on today I sent home our project sheet. It is due on Thursday, so make sure that it gets back on Thursday. You can turn it in before Thursday, that is fine, or you can wait to turn it in on Thursdays, just as long as we have it in by Thursday. That is it for today. Make sure you practice your skip counting every day, because if we can skip count, we can multiply. Okay, so that is it. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye.